episode of the This Is Awesome Wrestling Show right here on CLESound.com, part of the Cleveland Sound Radio Network. You can go on iTunes, subscribe to us every week, coming out with recapping Raw, the big news, and we get closer and closer to Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. This is the road to WrestleMania, the fast lane to WrestleMania. I'm Glenn Moore with Steve Guy, talking WWE, some wrestling, some big news this week. A big Raw last night. Started off a little slow, picked up towards the end. But Steve, how are you doing this week, buddy?
Great.
You're great?
I'm so excited. I don't know. I'm just still, that was a good Raw reunion action last night. It was a lot of fun. I was sitting there watching. I was like, man, I wish every week was a reunion because the writing sucks, but this is great.
It's such when they bring guys like Flair and even Hogan and HBK and you group like Hall and Nash with Triple H, you just realize how bad the product is now compared to what it was back in the 90s when we watched it. Is this awful? Like
how excited I was over an APA reunion.
I never thought I would mark out over a JBL clothesline ever
great.
again. Clothesline from hell.
As soon as they got up in those jeans and everybody was like, yes.
Or marking out for Farouk coming back. It was great.
The one thing he didn't say.
Damn. But he didn't do. Well, he did that with the APA. He did that when they were drinking beer and playing cards. But a great show. Other topics to talk about: WrestleMania in Dallas next year.
32.
Oh, we got to go to that one.
Oh, absolutely.
That's gonna be one definitely if you're a must. If you're a WWE fan, it's probably the largest crowd ever for a WWE event, let alone a WrestleMania. You could probably have 110,000 people.
Yeah, because you could see down the field.
Oh yeah, that's going to be epic. Dudley Boys might be coming back for the Rumble. That's the latest rumor surrounding DDP going to be in the Rumble. Spoiler alert.
Love DDP. He's kept a great shape with that yoga.
DDP ain't your mama's yoga. So some rumors going around, and also we're going to recap Raw. But first, like I said, Raw last night, I thought it started off a little slow, a little You have Daniel Bryan losing on Raw.
Yeah.
Kane and Daniel Bryan, I don't know about that program. I guess you got to give Bryan something, warm up a little bit before he...
Yeah, do you think... Well, I guess it's going to happen on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because at first, it keeps seeming like, oh, is this going to run into Royal Rumble? Like, is that going to be a match?
Yeah.
Is that going to be your singles match at Royal Rumble?
No.
I don't know.
I don't think so. But you have Bray Wyatt looking strong. Is that going to be a little...
Going after the Undertaker?
Yeah, Undertaker. They don't know. I mean, nothing has been...
Right. He could still
even
come
mentioned
back.
With a Taker. Lesnar came out and destroyed everybody.
That was awesome.
Ticked off. That was a great way to end Raw.
It was a fantastic way to end Raw. I mean, it was already at a high because it's the Stinger coming out. But then Lesnar after that, I was like, oh, man, that was awesome. And I love the way that it was like Attitude style. I mean, like he went right after Seth Rollins. That takedown, because usually... Anytime it seems like we watch Rollins and it's the Authority, like he always just gets away unscathed.
He sneaks out,
But dude, he got taken down immediately, and then he just gets up, jacks Kane on his shoulders, boom, F5, and then goes right after Rollins again.
Yeah.
And then to the Big Show. Oh man, Brock Lesnar has never looked stronger than what he did at the end last night.
He picked up show with ease,
so easily.
Just F5. It was amazing. And the promo with Heyman and the Authority, and then you had Rollins on the Titantron, and backstage. I mean, that was went pretty well. The ending was great. The ending included, like you said, mentioned Sting coming out, looking like it was a photo. Like I thought it was just a photo of Sting on it. And then he moves
was backstage.
Then he comes out. And he has the white painted face with the black, little marks on it.
Yeah.
But he has the red and the black.
How about that?
NWO Wolfpack style.
Yeah.
Are we reading a little bit too much into that, maybe? Or...
Maybe. It just has it left over still. He's like, I'm going to wear something different today. Do I go with the white or the red? Well, I wore the white last time.
But this is heading up Triple H and Sting. I mean, you can almost make a sure bet that those two are going to wrestle.
It has. I mean, I loved even... I was talking to Ryan before the show, and I was just saying that ending last night. The whole thing just seemed so real.
Yeah. Because
you have Sting come out, and it was it's believable that these guys all like, oh, we have a problem with this dude.
Yeah.
Come on, we want him to come down here. We're gonna jack him, and then John Cena steals one, and rather than it being like a John Cena celebration, what does he do? He escapes into the crowd. It's like, hell no, man, I'm not getting my ass beat by these three dudes.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. And he's just in the crowd, of course, not going to chase him. And then Brock Lesnar doing that. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, this is the most believable ending we have had in months.
Lesnar came out pissed.
Yeah.
Still has to face Cena and
pissed
Rollins.
Brock Lesnar is an
never
amazing
good.
Brock Lesnar to watch.
Never good.
It's like when you used to watch back and you'd have like an Austin or The Rock, and like they'd come back. Even Triple H, when he used to come back like after an injury, they'd just come out there, just start throwing punches at people, and it was just so believable and real.
Always towards the end when like there's guys and a lot of guys in the ring.
Yeah.
And the strong guy in wrestling, like he's like Stone Cold or The Rock. Someone with a kind of simple finisher that's going to clear the ring easily. Stunner here. And the music hits, Lesnar's going to come out like,
Yeah, everybody's getting F5.
Everybody's going to be taken out with ease.
Yeah. It'd be like, remember with Stone Cold, there was one time, well, probably a couple times, he'd come back and he'd just come in with a chair and he'd start swinging and clearing the ring, or then, he'd stun everybody. That's what it reminded me of. Oh, I loved it. Love it all. Triple H and the sledgehammer, that kind of thing. But Brock Lesnar doesn't need a weapon.
No.
He's got the F5 in his arsenal, and he's Brock Lesnar.
Now, we saw a lot of people come back. We mentioned Hogan.
Yeah.
Stupid panel. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I don't need those panels. I never get those.
I did love Flair throwing some punches, some chops.
Yeah.
Then he got knocked out.
He did.
But that was nice to get some offense in on the show. Okay, I don't get about Big Show. All right? Before the show, we talked about this. They're giving Show that, he's the 500-pound guy that can't be thrown over the top rope.
Yes.
But less than 10 months ago, Cesaro did it with ease.
Yeah, picked him up, chucked him over the top rope, all by himself to win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And I tweeted about this last night. That's always my favorite moment leading into Royal Rumble, is every year they make us sit here and try to believe, like, there's no way. There's impossible that the Big Show can be thrown out. He's going to win this thing. But yet, he's been in WWE for, 15 years now?
No, I'm searching.
He has never won.
Never.
The thing is, he gets thrown out every year.
Somebody posted... I love going on Reddit during Raw because people are just... It's like a live chat room, and it's all people posting funny stuff.
ASL.
No, not like that. But somebody posted when Big Show said that, every year when the Big Show was eliminated, it was like Chris Benoit.
No. We're going to have to edit that out in post-production.
The Rock, some other people have eliminated the Big Show in the Rumble. It was like 13 years of the Rumble, he's been eliminated.
Yeah.
So obviously it has happened.
Every year.
I think even R-Truth did it once.
Hey, shout out to R-Truth. Birthday yesterday. 43 years young.
43?
Incredible. Looking good.
The star will be on the mat.
Looking good.
But it has been done, so I don't get that. So he comes out, he pulls the WCW out, which I don't think half the people in the crowd know. Are we to the point now that it's been 14 years since the sale of WCW?
Yeah.
That people are like, when you say WCW, do people think it's Women Crush Wednesday now, or do you think it's actually World Championship Wrestling?
I have a friend in the world of comedy. I mean, someone was used to do this, and then he kind of just goes with it though. Every week for his WCW, he puts a WCW picture, and it's great.
But that's a legit question now. Like, WCW, we have all the archive pay-per-views, and the Nitros are available on the network. But if you're not a hardcore wrestling fan over the age of maybe 25, 30, you don't really know what WCW is, except for Women Crush Wednesday.
Right, that's true. You also don't... odd to think about, you also don't know what ECW is.
That's true.
What you know of Paul Heyman is Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. That's about it.
That's a good point, too. And his ponytail.
His old
ponytail. But yeah, I mean, that's... So WCW, they're bringing, Big Show said out, I beat Hogan on my first night, and he beat Flair up, and of course he, with the HBK, back when NWO, when Vince, reformed it back in WWE. So they have some history, but they keep shoving Show down our throat. Can the guy just go away?
He's just a good character that somebody has to overcome because he's so large every time.
So now Roman Reigns is being the guy that has to overtake him now.
Yeah.
Like that's their kind of little program. Roman Reigns killer is terrible.
Because this is supposedly going to make him look strong. So if Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble, then he's strong enough to beat Brock Lesnar because he handily defeated Big Show. See, now, okay, that is one that I'm surprised. We talked about there being no singles matches. This has gone on far enough now that you kind of still need a Roman Reigns Big Show match to end it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, he's going to eliminate him in the Royal Rumble, and then that's just it. We're done.
So what?
Maybe that ends up in Fastlane. I don't know.
Yeah. Or WrestleMania. I mean, if Reigns doesn't win Rumble, I mean, what is Reigns going to do? What is Bryan going to do? I mean, we have all these options of who's going to win the Rumble, but what if these guys don't win? Like Reigns, Ambrose, Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt. I mean, okay, Undertaker for him, but like,
sure,
there are some guys that who are they going to face?
Yeah, what do you do? You're right.
I mean, there's no build-up for Bryan. Kane and Bryan at WrestleMania? That'd be awful. I love Kane, my favorite of all time, but, I mean, WrestleMania for Daniel Bryan versus Kane?
You could do an epic Hell in the Cell match at WrestleMania that then dictates the next number one contender.
And then Kane comes back as, well, okay. Like the old 6-man.
Yeah.
Back in the day where Rikishi was thrown off the top into the
yes,
the back of the truck with all the hay.
The hay truck.
And the mattresses.
Right. So you could do that, because then you look at whoever's not in it. You could have Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
That's a match right there. I'll watch that. 4 dudes like that.
The thing is, though, they can't. Well, I guess they can maybe. Hell in a Cell would be hard at WrestleMania because it's an outdoor stadium, but they did it for WrestleMania 28 in Miami.
Right, yeah.
But I guess it was a pain to do that.
Mm. That's why they... By the way, we talked about this. So Fastlane, the next pay-per-view after Royal Rumble, typically was the big thing. Well, I can't think of it. Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
But it's been a pain for them to do that in arenas.
Yeah.
Because now jumbotrons are bigger, hanging lower. It's such a large structure.
Yeah.
But they still have it. I was reading. They might use it as a gimmick match still.
That
would be sweet outside at a WrestleMania.
That would be cool.
Can you imagine that at that's a match you put in WrestleMania.
But I think But I think you save that for later in the year if you're not going to do it. I mean, maybe for SummerSlam or later. But that would be cool. WrestleMania. I think bring back Money in the Bank for WrestleMania. Bring in that aspect of it.
You could.
I wouldn't mind that.
But that's got its own pay-per-view.
I know, but get rid of the pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
They turn all these gimmick matches
into a pay-per-view.
They can't run what happened to the No Mercy or like Armageddon and all these great pay-per-view names. Now we're just coming with crappy ones.
Like Fastlane?
Yeah, we're on the fast lane. Michael Cole now. The fast lane to WrestleMania. Literally, we are fast lane. All right, so X-Pac came back last night.
With a stunt double.
Oh, it was great. I was like, wow, X-Pac's in great shape. He's off the drugs, looking clean. But was it really Damien X-Pac Dow?
Yeah.
Is that what you call him?
Yeah. And Kevin, how about the whole thing afterwards, too?
Yeah.
Like, I get Triple H still supposed to be the face of authority and everything, but we talk about this, how it's still great when he kind of lets loose a little bit. And you have Kevin Nash telling, like, what kind of show are you running here, man? He just shakes his head.
That's a rip on The Miz.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
It was still funny, though.
Miz main event in WrestleMania and won.
He did.
The only heel to go into WrestleMania as champion to come walk out as champion in WrestleMania to main event. Only one ever.
True. Because Alberto Del Rio technically was like a secondary champion.
But he didn't main event.
Because he was in the secondary championship match.
Main event wrestling.
It's a double main event.
End the show.
A double main event.
But then you had like Flair, Hogan. I mean, then you had the tag teams. We talked about that, APA. And then you had New Age Outlaws come back, which Billy Gunn looks in great shape.
Unbelievable. When they came back last year, was it last year or 2 years ago?
It was last year because they wrestled the Rumble. They won the titles of the Rumble.
That's right. Okay. So
I was there.
I mean, I thought he was in great shape then. He looks in even better shape now.
Yeah.
Must have scaled back that wellness policy.
And Road Dogg, he looks. I mean, he used to be a little pudgy. Now he looks in great shape.
Yeah.
These guys are still good enough to go. But Farouk and JBL, it was nice to see them. APA, and then you had NWO was in the ring. Now here's one thing: Hogan was out for the panel in the red and yellow, but when NWO came out, it was Hall, Nash, and X-Pac, which was great. Love Scott Hall. Hey yo, love it. survey.
Yeah.
But no Hogan for NWO.
No. Yeah, that was interesting, too.
I didn't like that.
But, no Shawn Michaels with them either for, like, DX or being the Click or anything like that. But Hogan, it'd be different because Hogan's there all the time at this point.
But they did have, when Hogan had his birthday after Raw,
they did have the NWO guys there then.
Then he
I guess maybe you already had that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are they trying to take Hogan away from NWO or something? I don't know. I don't
try to separate him.
But, I mean, X-Pac was in NWO, but you think of Hogan, Nash, and Hall, which is great for for Nash to come back, get rid of his charges, assault, domestic violence, to be able to come back.
Yeah, did you read about what actually happened in that story?
Yeah.
That was legit. He should have had those dropped.
Yeah.
Protecting his family. His kid was hammered.
Yeah.
Coming at him and his wife.
Yeah, take care of him.
Take him down.
Take care of him.
That's the problem with America anymore. They don't have dads like Kevin Nash just putting their kids on the ground.
If Kevin Nash was my dad, I'd be straight arrow.
That's right.
Wouldn't be doing anything wrong.
Be done. You wouldn't end up like Scott Hall, even though he's your crazy uncle.
The thing is that when Scott Hall, like, he does the whole, like, ooh, like, he's, like, sarcastic. It adds, comedic value to the whole scene.
Right.
Which is great. I love the NWO coming back.
It was, the Legends, that was a high point for me at Raw last night. Definitely was that. I think I enjoyed that more than Sting coming back.
Yeah. Because with NWO, like, you don't see him, you don't see Sting all the time, but, like...
Yeah. But, I've been waiting for an APA reunion. I just want them to be sitting in the back and somebody coming in and needing protection.
Now, we were hoping, I was reading that someone mentioned in the comments on Reddit was they were hoping that Booker T would come back with Harlem Heat.
Harlem Heat.
Why couldn't they add to that?
That would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been fantastic, too. All these tag teams,
all these old tag teams. Let's bring back Too Cool. Kai and Ty. Let's bring back Kai and Ty.
Oh, they're good.
What else?
Can't forget about the Grandmaster Sexay.
Oh, yeah.
Scotty Too Hottie doing the worm.
Or bring back Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack.
Chainsaw Charlie would be good.
What else? What else was back in the Attitude Era? Those tag teams.
Well, not the Attitude Era, but it'd be great to bring back Bryan Blair. and Jim Brazil. That'd be great.
Or
the Sheik would go. Because following the Sheik's Twitter, that would be great to see them come back.
Spirit Squad could have brought them back.
Oh, absolutely. With
Dolph Ziggler.
Well, Dolph Ziggler was still fired at the time,
but he could have snuck in as. Wait, was it Nikki?
Yeah. What about could have brought the posse back?
Yeah.
The Main Street Posse.
I love their entrance music.
Yeah.
Doom, 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 doom.
It was good overall, though. Pretty, well, I shouldn't even say... Raw had such good high points that it made it good overall.
Yeah.
Because you still had some low moments. Is in Anuso again? All right, come on.
As in every show, they're going to have a lot of low points.
Yeah.
Only reason why they're going to bring any high points is bringing back all these,
Maybe it needs to not be 3 hours anymore, like we've talked about.
That's true. I talked about this before the show with you. Triple H breaking kayfabe, and if you don't know what kayfabe is, it's like the fine line of wrestling and real life.
Yeah.
And it seems like the McMahons and Triple H and Stephanie have been kind of tiptoeing that line.
Right.
Now, one thing about professional wrestling, especially in the Attitude Era, was without social media, there was no social media back then. It was, you saw these guys at the airport, didn't know what they were doing, and they stayed in character, which I think is great. If you're a bad guy, I think you should be a douchebag when you're out in public. You have to keep that perception, I think.
Absolutely.
I'm old school. Now, this kid was crying last night during Raw, first row, sitting right behind Triple H. He starts crying. I think because Cena was getting beat down. And this kid was crying. Triple H goes over him, gives him a hug during Raw. And Stephanie comes over and consoles this kid that's crying. And, like, they give him all this merchandise. This is when Raw was happening. This is live. He's patting his head, calming him down.
This kind of stuff you need to be showing on TV was this kid crying to help build it better.
Exactly. That's a little bit too much. I know, like, we're in this. Everybody needs to be nice to each other. Everybody needs to be, lovers and friends, and nobody can hate each other. No bad things.
You still have guys that are really good at selling it, though. I mean, for their sake, Ziggler and Ryback have been really good at not breaking it while on Twitter the entire time they've been fired.
Right.
On Friday, I think it was Friday, maybe a Thursday, I don't know. One of the days last week, though, Ryback tweeted out, thanks WWE for not letting me in, even though I paid for a ticket.
The big guy.
That's a live event, So I'm like, all right, man, look at him.
Maybe because he needed to buy 2 seats for him instead of 1.
Because he's so big.
Can't fit.
He's the big guy. Yeah.
Big guy.
Ziggler talking about loving this time off, booked 2 more comedy shows.
Hopefully we got permission for that.
I hope so. But, I mean, he's fired, technically.
Yeah, it's true.
So he doesn't need the permission. Those guys are good at it. I actually, last night I watched the WWE. They do the short. If somebody tweets a question.
Mm-hmm.
Was who's your least favorite travel buddy? You know who Kane said? Daniel Bryan.
Of course.
Because he said he's annoying, and he said he will never forgive himself for stooping to that level and actually doing it. But he had to because they were tag team champions. Didn't break kayfabe, though. Perfect. Perfect moment right there. You know who did break it last week as well? Did you see this?
No. Well, who?
Triple H received an award last week.
Oh, yeah, and John Cena.
John Cena gives him nice congratulatory.
After he fired. Like, come on. What is wrong? Why can't these guys just stay in character?
He gave a response about, it's about being, it's still respect.
Yeah,
and,
even though he fired my friends.
Yeah. Shut your mouth.
Did you?
Brony.
Shut your mouth. Did you hear about, did you hear what Road Dogg said last night? It's MLK Day.
Right.
Right? So, celebration.
Yeah.
Road Dogg said, now wait a cotton-picking minute. Unbelievable.
He's a man of the South.
Now
He is from like the ATL.
I was backstage last year when they won the titles.
Yeah.
The Rumble in Pittsburgh and then Raw in Cleveland the next day. I was backstage. And Road Dogg got in trouble because he was talking to Jerry about this, and I was with Jerry Lawler. And Road Dogg, during the match on Raw in Cleveland, he said something. I think he swore at like a person at ringside, or he swore on the mic. He swore, and I guess Vince blew up. He said, "You can't say that now. You're right, Attitude Era." And Road Dogg goes to Jerry and goes, "Man, I got yelled at for swearing." But Road Dogg saying, "Wait in a cotton picking minute." That's MLK Day. That's not going to sit over too well, I don't think.
Might not be invited back. Pays to be a little bit of an extension of the clique, I guess.
But like I said, Triple H consoling a kid live on Raw. They probably obviously didn't show on TV, but people were tweeting photos ringside of it that was going on. The kid had to go backstage, which was great, okay. But during Raw, keep the kid crying.
Yeah, show him crying.
I mean, it's a show.
Bawling his eyes out like a little baby.
And if you bring your kid, you tell him it's a show.
Tell him it's fake.
I mean, do you think
it's not? I mean, it is real, but it's not.
What if The Rock went to
it's scripted?
Remember when Mick Foley and The Rock be on the mat and Dewey and Noel were crying ringside,
right,
bawling, and the wife was crying. Did The Rock go over and hug him and say it's okay? It's not real.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I don't know what to do there.
CM Punk is good with
he's amazing
staying in character. Because I mean, he's a douchebag in real life, but he keeps the persona.
Alberto Del Rio. This is my second reference of him today. But also used to do the same thing. He would go up to kids. He would rip their signs.
That's great
at live event things, not even taping ones.
And you know what? I'm sure those fans probably sued WWE for ruining my sign.
Well, there's a YouTube video somewhere of him ripping some kid's sign, and it was in a match with Dolph Ziggler. Mm-hmm. And then Ziggler went over there afterwards and then gave the kid his shirt and everything. But that's a perfect way to push a face and a heel.
Boom.
He heats that up. Yeah, gets more heat on the heel and then raises the face even more so.
Yep.
That's what he used to do in old school. That's why you had such a great job of that. But in this day and age where guys like Big Show, Mark Henry flip-flop from month to month, week to week, it makes it a little bit more difficult, I suppose.
I was told also that Vince doesn't view as guys that faces and heels anymore, good and bad guys. There's not like a...
Well, it's hard to do because the crowd really chooses who they like anymore based upon so many different things.
But if you're pushing a guy as a bad guy, let him
be bad. Yeah.
Pull the tights when you do roll-ups. Be a douchebag to the crowd.
Yeah.
Just generate heat. Cheat to win. Now we're just, everybody has to be nice to each other. It's just making me very upset.
What was your bigger moment in Raw? The big reunion or Sting?
I think it was a tag team orgy. It had to be the tag team. That marked out for JBL.
Yeah.
Even though I hate him as a commentator.
I mean, I loved Sting returning, and I think that great sets the tone.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get those guys back. But yeah, I think it was everybody else for me too. Now,
if Sting came out like with a baseball bat, like where's his baseball bat?
Start taking them down. I thought maybe he was going to. Thought he was going to take them down with the baseball bat. So now that Sting has returned, John Cena wins. Since it was the last match, now there was word that the 3 fired guys were backstage, but obviously they didn't end up coming out.
Right.
When are they returning? At Royal Rumble? Will they be on SmackDown?
That's a good. Well, we'll find out tonight.
Soon.
In a couple of hours of the spoilers.
Yeah. Because you can't, I don't knock the ending. I mean, that was one way to do it. Okay, Sting saves them, they come back. Great. They should be almost like they should be out at the show. But it's good to have not had them there because it's still believable that they were fired. Because if they were fired, why would they be at the show?
Right.
Right? So I think that's still good. And I still love the ending. With Brock Lesnar coming out and just fueling the fire on that, that's probably a stronger ending still than if you would have brought those. I mean, Ziggler's the only one, let's be honest, that would have gotten huge over. But this is really interesting, sets up the Royal Rumble. Go into the Ziggler rumor. Ziggler losing the Intercontinental Championship, as is now a rumor, because he's being buried for booking the comedy shows like we were just talking about.
But he buried for losing the IC title. Nobody cares about the IC title anymore.
But do you think that, remember, it was just a few weeks ago we were reading rumors about he could be winning the Royal Rumble.
I'm sure he's going to be in the Final Four.
Ryan and I were talking about this beforehand. And Ryan brought up a great point, is because I had mentioned that one thing recently that was out there is that Vince and Triple H were very unhappy with the creative direction everything was going with the stories, just like the rest of us, and that they have taken over the bulk of at least the storylines and how things should go. And Triple H has kind of been, not known for, but it's been mentioned in the past, that he's really good about leaking stuff out to push storylines, like hardcore, like rumors, quote-unquote. What if he is leaking this, and it's all this stuff like, oh, they're really pissed at Dolph Ziggler, blah, blah, and he's tweeting out and going along with it, and like, oh, yeah, I'm going to book more comedy shows, and that's the rumor, and that's why he was buried, but then he comes out and wins Royal Rumble.
Yep.
That'd be amazing.
That would be awesome.
What great creative direction that is right there.
Now, we should probably do a segment of the show on this, on the top Reddit comments for Raw.
From last night?
I got a few here.
Okay.
First one, the top one that got the most likes. The fired superstars were saved by a man whose face is both black and white, Martin Luther Sting Jr. Another one is a quote of JBL. That's a picture of Sting, Michael. Sting must be a huge Ziggler mark. Lesnar picked up the Big Show like a paperweight. He did.
He did.
With ease. Sting and Lesnar had to have passed each other behind the curtain. Did they bump into each other? I bet they fist bumped. There's some other ones. That was an amazing episode of Nitro. Flair, Hogan, Sting, NWO. Where's Eric Bischoff?
There you go.
Let's see. And that's how you make Brock a face.
That is true.
Here's one. Here's the last one. Over an hour later, and I'm still sitting here wondering why in the hell Road Dogg used the phrase "cotton picking minute" on Martin Luther King Day.
Because he doesn't know any better.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, he doesn't know. And he's from the South himself, too, so
yeah,
whatever. All right, other rumors before we wrap the show up. Dudley Boys might be coming back. That's the rumor. Both of them, Devon and Bubba Ray.
That'd be pretty amazing.
In the Rumble. That would be awesome.
That would be great.
If they came back as a full-time tag team and we had maybe Outlaws versus Dudley Boys back in the day.
I was just thinking about this. I think the 3 guys probably do come back at the Royal Rumble. And you know they're probably all going to start off 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I think that's the easy way to do it.
DDP is going to be back, that's for sure.
That's going to be amazing.
Confirmed.
Love DDP.
Do X-Pac going to be in there?
Yeah, why not?
Throw him in there.
He looks in good shape. Not as good as Pacquiao, but he's still looking in pretty good shape.
I mean, when Mizdow came out, I thought that was X-Pac for real. I'm like, man, he's in good shape.
Yeah.
You can go. And then he saw the druggie come out walking from the left. X-Pac just totally. I got an X-Pac story for you. WrestleMania in Miami. After Raw, I was in the bus area where the guys come out and go to their buses where they get a car, and X-Pac was not like in the backstage area. He was out with the fans, and all the fans were like lining the fence. You know, some guys came over and signed autographs, but X-Pac is wandering. I was waiting for my ride to go back to the hotel, and X-Pac is wandering the streets. He must have been drugged. He was messed up, and he had about a group of 10 people, like fans, follow him around. The dude was wandering like onto the ramp for the highway.
Just a man of his people.
He was walking in the middle of the street, totally messed up. Walking back to the hotel, he said he was walking by the hotel. It's like a 6-mile walk. Seriously,
sounds about right for him.
It's totally messed up. The dude was just messed up. That was Miami. That was what 2012, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He looks. I think he's cleaned up now, but still.
So we're going into the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
We got some big matches. First of all, Royal Rumble is fun. It's a great classic. I was looking up who the number one starters were for every Royal Rumble because on WWE.com.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I keep forgetting that it only just started in like 1988. We're not that far into the Royal Rumble. Or 87.
Dude, that's 27 years?
Yeah, I guess. For some reason, I was thinking, well, I guess WrestleMania we're only at 31, so.
Yeah, they didn't start like pay-per-views
I was
like
thinking,
WrestleMania.
I was thinking that they were more even closer, but that's still good. But you had Undertaker starting number one. I totally forgot about that at one point. Hulk Hogan at one point was number one. Ric Flair was number one entrant. Bret Hart twice. Shawn Michaels twice.
Yeah.
How about Shawn Michaels winning it twice? Stone Cold starting it the 1 year. The year, of course, Vince McMahon wins.
Yeah, Vince. I can't believe Vince is a Royal Rumble.
Dolph Ziggler has now started number one twice, which is why I brought them up starting as 1, 2, 3. He would be the first person to start the Royal Rumble as the number one entrant 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's some good statistics with the Rumble.
How about that?
Good.
CM Punk has also started twice. Phil Brooks.
We can't.
Including, well, they listed him.
Yeah.
Including his last match last year.
Yeah.
He was the number one entrant. There was only one person that they did not include on the list.
It was
he's that guy that you said earlier. We have to put in post.
Chris Benoit.
Oh, did it again.
Can't say it. We're never going to get a guess ever.
So who do we have? Who are your 1 and 2, and who was your winner of the Royal Rumble?
Okay. My Final Four. Let's go Final Four. Okay. Final Four, then winner. Keep it like that. Ziggler.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Ambrose. And then I have I'm gonna go Reigns winning it. I don't want him to win it. I think it's gonna be awful, but I think Reigns wins this year. He has to look strong. I got Reigns winning. That's my Final Four. Ziggler, Reigns, Ambrose, and Daniel Bryan.
All right. I think you go Ziggler. Yeah, I'll give you... I guess... we'll go Roman Reigns. I don't know, maybe Daniel Bryan. I don't think I want to say Daniel Bryan because I feel like there's going to be something goofy involved just to take him out to do that. And I don't think Ambrose either. You know there's always a wild card. Think back to Santino Marella.
Yeah.
Thinking, I remember in that moment, there's no way. Alberto Del Rio has gotten 0 push. This is going to be incredible. They're going to make us all go nuts. Santino Marella's going to win. He's somehow not going to go on to WrestleMania, but he's going to win.
Yeah.
Mizdow is going to be in your Final Four.
Wow.
And then my final one, I don't know. I don't know who my final 4th one would be. But I know he's going to be in there, and it's going to be crazy.
Be awesome.
Maybe, let's see, Ziggler, Reigns, Mizdow. Maybe I guess maybe I'll throw Daniel Bryan in or somebody. But I feel like it's probably going to be somebody from the corporate, from the authority.
Randy Orton? Think Orton's going to come back?
That was also a thought. That was one of the guys I had. Was Randy Orton maybe coming back? Okay. But I don't think Randy Orton's coming back in the Royal Rumble. I think Randy Orton is coming back during the championship match,
mm-hmm.
and still spoils something for Seth
I
Rollins.
think you have Orton Rollins at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Which would be great.
Oh, it'd be an excellent match.
It'd be a great match. I mean, a gimmick match or something. You got to do something gimmicky with that match.
Oh, yeah.
You got to build it up because you can make that long program as a SummerSlam, I think.
Yeah.
Which would be great. These would be great matches. All right, so the Rumble, so you have winner.
I think I have Ziggler winning.
Ziggler, and I have Reigns.
That's a stupid pipe dream hope, but I.
So who comes out and wins the triple threat match for the title?
I think Brock Lesnar wins.
I'm going to say Cena's going to win.
You think so?
Cena Reigns WrestleMania.
Yeah. Because there's also you know who my fourth guy is? Instead of Daniel Bryan, I think you have Rusev as one of the fourth guys.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good.
And I still have Mizdow in there though.
Now, Daniel Bryan's wrestling Kane, and if Bryan loses, he's out of the Rumble, correct?
Oh yeah.
That for
SmackDown? Is the stipulation there.
Now, listen to this. Bryan loses on SmackDown, is out of the Rumble. The Bunny gets in be in the Rumble.
Ends up in the Final Four?
He's doing all of Daniel Bryan's moves.
Yeah.
He wins. The bunny head comes off. It's Rey Mysterio.
You know, the bunny will be in the Royal Rumble, so that'll be great. Maybe the bunny goes into the Final Four instead of Mizdow.
If that happens, we're done. I'm not doing this podcast anymore.
Not that he would win. He'd just be in the Final Four.
I don't know. If the bunny's in the Final Four, I am not watching wrestling anymore for the rest of my life. That'd be so ridiculous. I'm serious.
I could still see Cesaro. I mean, so many people for the Final Four that are like a believable push that aren't going to necessarily be a championship contender.
But
like
make the Final Four a great,
they make
dramatic
a really good
moment.
Exactly.
Which it needs to be.
When you look at it, you're like, oh man, legitimately any one of these four guys could win, just from a stature and moves and strength standpoint. You know,
it has to be. All right. WrestleMania 32 going to be in Dallas. We got to go to that one for sure.
Yeah.
Today they had a press conference, so that's going to be for sure. And if we don't go to this one, I'm definitely going to one in Dallas.
Yeah. Listen up, listeners. I guess that's what you would be doing. If you want to fund
a Kickstarter.
Fund a trip for Glenn and Steve to go to WrestleMania in Santa Clara.
If you donate $10, you get a free ticket to Steve Guy's next comedy show at the Roxino.
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah. Doing a charity show this Friday night, but that's already sold out, folks. Sorry.
Woo! Look at you.
Well, you know, big time. Closing that show out, too, by the way.
Oh,
yeah.
Steve Guy.
Yeah, I got jokes.
You going to throw a podcast plug out there?
Oh, absolutely. I got to start writing wrestling jokes.
You should.
For all my loyal listeners that have yet to come up to me after any show that I've done.
Well.
That's fine. I only tweet about them.
All right. We're gonna close the show on a nice little quote here. Sting distracts you once, shame on him. Sting distracts you twice, shame on you.
Always good.
And a new bit for the show. Now, Steve and I were talking about buying stock into WWE.
Yes.
And today it was low enough. It was lower than 1 month's subscription of WWE Network. It was below $9.99.
Unless you got the WWE Network in November, like I did.
Okay, true. It was free. But right now it closed up today at $10.05. $10.05. So we're going to do a little bit here, all right? Every week we'll give you the stock price. And we're going to see. If it gets low enough, we should buy some stock. I feel like $10 we can afford. We go in on this. How much stock do you have to be, like, to buy to be legitimate, like...
Shareholder?
Yeah, like to be in the phone call and like...
Oh, you got to be a top shareholder at that point, right?
Can we get a sponsor to buy our shares for us?
To buy it for us. Can companies buy... I don't know how that works.
All right, any final thoughts? What was your This Is Awesome moment?
What was the match they chanted This Is Awesome in? I think it was Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
They chanted, and that was good. Although also Ambrose and Wade Barrett was a pretty solid match too.
Yeah.
So I take back that Raw was just okay. It was good. But still for me, it was everybody else. The APA.
Yeah.
You know, Farouk coming out there like that, that's probably my awesome moment is when you had all those guys, and then the Outlaws just couldn't beat it. Could not beat that. That was so great and so classic. Although,
awesome.
Again, still, I loved Brock Lesnar ending. As good as Sting was, loved Brock Lesnar being the guy to come out there even more so. And it's like, dude, this is what's been missing when you're not on Raw for months and not defending your title for 3 months.
Feed us more. Feed us more.
Yeah.
This awesome moment was X-Pac and Damian X-Pac. That was great. Great moment. And also, this is awesome moment was Flair getting some chops in and some woos in and some punches. Even though he got laid out, still great to see Flair get physical.
Still take a bump, Rick.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Woo! On his side. Never on his back. Always on the side. You know why?
Why?
The plane crash.
Oh, that's right.
He can only land on the side now. Every suplex he takes or flip, he always lands on his side because he can't take it on his back.
Speaking of woos, can't wait to see one of my favorite wrestlers be in the Royal Rumble. Woo, woo, woo.
Oh, Zach, he's making a return? That'd be great.
That'd be great.
I would mark out for that.
I would.
All right. We'll talk to you guys next week. Rumble results, Raw results. Make sure to subscribe on our iTunes every week. We have a new episode. CLE Sound on Twitter, CLE Sound on Facebook, and go to the website, clesound.com. Not only our website, our show is on the website, but other shows on the network. And we're doing some big things for the station. Make sure you check it out. Listen to all the shows that we have here on clesound.com. Steve, see you next week, buddy.
Hey, sounds good to me.